What's going on, mi gente? Welcome back to Soulfully Slayed. This is like my first video and I'm super freaking excited. I've had so many people tell me, they're like, dude, just do a video. You already do it. So I'm just like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll just have to like my perfectionism was setting in. I was just like, no, I need to have the right chairs. I need to have the perfect corner, all this stuff. And then one day it occurred to me and I was just like, why not go in my porch? Why not? And today I had a moment where I literally stepped outside and I was just like, oh my God, it feels so still and so right. And that's perfect. So, as you can tell, we're going through a lot of changes. And sometimes those changes are actually what you need. Okay. And you're sometimes you just gotta have to get out of your comfort zone because you just never know what comes next. Okay. So, we go with the flow with the little organization and all that stuff. And today I was thinking, oh my God, it's so cute. My cat is right there staring at me. He's like, you go, girl. You go, girl. Okay. And that's a message for you. You have your angels watching you. It's like, you go, girl. You go, girl. Go through all those changes. You got this. Okay. You got this. Um, and normally with the podcast episodes, I would have it scripted and I would have my manager help me. And today I'm just like, with me, I'm a very free spirited person. So I just go with the flow. And my moon sign is a Libra. So, they're an air sign, which means they are super free spirited and they do whatever, right? They're freaking everywhere. And that's how I am. Like sometimes I think of things and I'm just like, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do that, and it's like sometimes that's good. And I'm going to take advantage of that and actually follow how I'm designed, right? Um, so I decided, I'm like, okay, let's just do YouTube videos. I already do videos. I already talk. Why not? What difference is it? The only difference is that I'm not only just talking in a microphone and not, doing anything else. So this is what I'm going to do. So anyways, like always, I always come with a message. Okay. Like I said, this is not scripted because we're just doing things the way I should, right? We should always follow how we are, never go against it. And the message today is you have risen and there's no going back. So, when I was planning on doing this first official video, I was thinking, I was like, damn, is it really time to tell people what I've gone through? Is it? Or is it none of their business? And I'm a firm believer that everything that happens in your life is for a reason, whether or not you like it. Because at the end of the day, whatever happens to you, like you come out of it stronger, whether it's, through a stronger love or a stronger love, either for yourself or someone else, like we just never know. And it's like you should always go with the flow. Um, so you have risen and there's no going back. You know how people say, once you see something, you can't unsee it. Once you hear something, you can't unhear it. Why? Why do you think? That's because something has awakened in in you. So whether it's something you saw and it's like, bro, now that shit makes sense, or something you heard, now that shit makes sense. Like it's like a full circle moment that you have, and it comes together. It's not just a spark. Honestly, it is the ignition of your destiny. Sometimes, or most of the times, you won't have the full picture, and you literally have to take things step by step, step by step. It's like, all right, I just got heartbroken because I found out I was cheated on. True story. What do you do? Are you going to sulk in your feelings for so long, or are you going to feel the feelings, figure out why you feel that way? Obviously, because nobody wants to go through that shit. But figure out there's like a deeper feeling, that you have to work through. And it's so crazy because this message that I have written down here, I literally can relate 100%. And I guess I'm just going to have to tell you my life story that way. And everything that you couldn't take with you to the next level got ripped away from you. Imagine, imagine you got a new car, right? And you were still with your cheating ass boyfriend. Found out he was fucking bitches in your car. Do you want a new car with that same old ass energy? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. You know, do you want a nice ass home, which is your dream home, to find out your spouse is cheating on you, bringing in hoes? Absolutely fucking not. And that's what I had to realize. I'm like, you know what? I understand now why sometimes your blessings are put on hold because they're never taken away. Oh my God, I forgot to put earrings on. Whatever. Sometimes we feel like things are taken away. Mind you, I'm saying all this shit and I really mean it because this is how I felt. And I know if I felt like this, I know someone else did. You know, we get to the point where we feel like, damn, like all this shit got taken away from me. Like I know this shit was real at one point, right? But then you have to realize it what's for you will not get taken away from you. In other words, if it's for you, it's still there. It's written in the stars. It's for you. It's just put on pause because it can't be in your life if you have things that don't align with it. If you know math, a negative and a positive equals a negative. Okay? So you can't mix the two. You can't. So everything you couldn't take with you got ripped away because it wasn't for you. It wasn't for you. You don't owe anyone your scarcity or your silence anymore. You were born to command. Sometimes we're in situations where you feel like being quiet is going to make you win, or being scarce is going to take you far. You think obeying is it. As a matter of fact, it's not. You need to command. And I say that humbly. Command, bitch. Command what's yours. We're all creators. Create your life. And that's the beautiful thing about life. You can change it at any moment. And this reminds me of another moment that I had. When I left my ex husband, I accumulated so much debt moving from California back to Florida. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Oh my God. But, I had to do what I had to do, right? That debt followed me for years. I would be literally stuck in situations where I had so much emergencies and I couldn't do shit but borrow money from people. So, of course, the little that I had, I was giving back to other people because, of course, I had to pay them back. And one day, I decided this shit ain't it. It's not fucking it. I'm not dealing with this shit. This is not it. And I know I can change this shit. And it was an idea that I've had before. I've heard about it, but I was very ignorant to the subject. So, because I was following people's advice who knew nothing about it and who never did it themselves, I literally was at a halt for the longest, you know, till one day. And it was crazy. It was everybody. It was my boyfriend at the time. It was my mom. My dad I don't talk to him, so I couldn't ask him because he did it. And I'm just one day, I'm like, what if I do this? Sure enough, call the attorney. Hey, boom, boom, boom. Bitch, when I tell you, talking to him was just a breath of fresh air, and the pressure I had, I was like, oh my God, everything really is figure outable. Everything is figure outable. I don't give a fuck what nobody says, but let me tell you, bankruptcy is what changed my life. Bankruptcy. I had no problems. The only issues I had was these damn liabilities that, of course, I incurred on myself. Educate yourself. Stop being ignorant. Stop going to people. Do the research yourself. If you have to call somebody, then fucking do it yourself. Stop relying on other people. Stop seeking approval from other people who've never been in your fucking shoes. Stop doing that. And that's a lesson I learned. One decision going against everything I knew and what people who love me told me, they didn't know any fucking better because they were not in my shoes. Yeah, they were next to me. Yeah, they were helping me. But they didn't have my social security number dealing with what I had to fucking deal with. Okay? So you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to deal with that. And there is always light on the other side. You just have to physically do baby steps and figure shit out. And of course, this is the next thing I had here. You see the patterns, you see the bondage. That was a deep rooted fear I had. I was so comfortable being in a scarce situation. I was just like, what the fuck? At some point, it's just like, nah, bitch. I know shit is better than this. I know it. I know it. And oh my God, I love this. And the next thing it says, you're breaking out. You're not surviving anymore. You're rebelling. I literally feel like I'm gonna cry. And that goes to show, like, we really, oh my God, that goes to show we really, really do ourselves the injustice of just literally staying in the box and just listening to other people. And what you realize is when you go through those things, you're literally breaking out. You're breaking out. You're not surviving anymore at that point. You're rebelling. And what people don't realize is when you're rebelling, there's such a negative connotation to that. And I can understand. But it's always those people who are misunderstood. But guess what? It's always those people who come out on top, who lead people to do what the fuck they need to do, who remind people that this is what the fuck they need to do. Would you not do it? Would you not? Oh, God. I'm telling you, like, this shit I'm telling you is only within the past year, not even. I have even gone to my childhood, to how I had ear surgeries on both my ears because I had a deadly ear infection that literally could have fucking killed me from ages like, I think 2 to like 9 or 10. So imagine the survival that I had to go through, the childhood that I so called have. Imagine. Imagine being on freaking drug medicine so I can just heal from that. Imagine. Because someone's fuck up, an incompetent person doing my ear surgeries, what I had to go through, what my parents had to go through. You know, there's that. And then, God, there's so much to say that being let's just say sheltered. When you're sheltered, you're not exposed to a lot of things. So you eventually, when you get older, there's certain cultures that are hush about things. Even if you ask, they still don't tell you because you're too young. You're a kid. Then guess what happens? You grow up, do those same shit that you're not supposed to do that y'all should have talked about. I'm not putting the blame on nobody. I'm just saying. Now, guess what? Now you're in a situation where you have to heal yourself because you have trauma. Your family has trauma because of whatever, so called whatever, you know? And that's the next thing I want to talk about. Make it your business to know your family history. I'm not talking about blood pressure. I'm not talking about shit like that. I'm talking about deep shit. What patterns are in both your maternal and your paternal side? If you guys listen to my podcast, you would hear that in my maternal side, always chose men who didn't choose them. When I found that out after I found out my ex-boyfriend cheated. Oh shit, sorry. Oh my god. Jeez. So disgusting of me. I'm sorry. I was not prepared for this. Um, and that's when I realized. And let me say something real quick. It's okay to cry. Tears are sacred. Tears have so much emotion. It's okay to let go. Because honestly, that's how you let go. It's okay. But like I was saying, that's when I realized in my maternal line, we were always suppressed. Our voice was suppressed. When it came to men, we just had to deal with it because we were put in a box because they took care of us because of whatever. I wasn't going to deal with that shit. And trust and believe, my next person, just fucking know I'm breaking that shit. Breaking that curse we got going on. I'm not dealing with that. Okay? And my paternal line, they are full of protectors. And I found this out a while ago, but I started putting two and two together. But my God, is it my great 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 grandpa or something like that? I don't fucking name. His name is Simon Bolivar. He actually was the president. Fuck, I see. I don't have my facts right now because I didn't write this down. He was the president of some part of Central America, and he actually not gathered. What's that fucking word? He united. He made peace or united the countries and whatever, but it was hard for him. Like he literally like flew, not flew, but he went to like Jamaica and Haiti, and they helped him hide, while he was doing his mission. And it reminds me, I'm just like, oh my god, here I am, a leader for my people to promote peace. It continues in your lineage on both sides. Sometimes you're a curse breaker because you're continuing what they couldn't finish. He was executed for some shit. I think some jealousy or some shit. I'm not surprised because you know how that's how shit was, you know. And then on my maternal side, I love herbs. We love playing with herbs. And it just made me realize lately, I'm just like, bitch, you can really, I don't want to say the H word here, but you can really like help yourself when it comes to herbs. If you're constipated, I have a tea for that. If you're sad, I have a tea for that. If you can't sleep, there's a tea for that. If God, anything, you want to lose weight, there's a tea for that. You have to really embrace who you are. Stop trying to be someone else because you are your own person. You literally have to look in your lineage. So be proud of who you are. And if people don't understand, that's okay. They will eventually understand. And you're not doing it for them to understand you. You're not. So let me see what else. Okay, so I told you that. God, there's so much to say. But I think that was basically the most important things that you can see what I've gone through as I was little. Of course, that with grimy ass people. Family wasn't shit. Of course, I had maybe one or two people, but it is what it is. I learned along the fucking way. I had my son when I was 19. I love him to death. I love him to death. He was literally my blessing. My blessing. I love him to death. I've been in multiple physical and mental abusive relationships, maybe besides one. But there was this one relationship. Boy, that shit was physical. That shit was physical to the point where I ended up calling the cops and my son got taken away from me because of the environment I was in. And it's like, damn, bitch, I was supposed to rely on you to get this motherfucker away, but now not only did you take that motherfucker away, you took my son away. And it's just like, bitch, when I say pure survival mode, oh my God. And not only that, I was working on my bachelor's degree. Meanwhile, trying to go to police academy. Imagine the stress I went through. So of course I'm not in that situation anymore, but it's just so crazy. And then of course that person came back in my life acting like he was better. And there was a day where, I have a slick mouth. Not because I have a slick mouth, I just say things. And I said something. And I'm like, well, that's why you don't have your kid. And he slapped my fucking face. He slapped my fucking face. And I'm like, oh, bitch. Sure enough, blocked. Did he come back? Of course he tried to come back. Blocked. Left on red. Don't even read the message. Things will continue to try to come back, especially during your level up. Especially during your level up. Recognize that. So yeah, anything. Anyway, sorry. The only thing left to do is rise. Rise. Rise louder, wilder, and realer than before. Okay. And then I got this finishing thing, and it says, You were never meant to fit in their box. You were meant to burn it down and build your own. Stop looking back at the grave. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? You guys got to tell me. This video thing is like is different. I like it because you can actually see my emotions, and I feel like you can actually connect with me. Let me know what you guys think. I'm super excited to do this, and it was just one of those things that a random thought that I had one day. I'm like, what if I do the podcast as a video? What if? It's really funny that I say that because as I was saying that, I was looking at my plant. His name is Roberto. I love my plants. Well, I mean, I threw one away because I gave up on her. But this one is called Roberto, and the other one is called Violeta. Let me tell you about my plants. They were so beautiful when I got them. I was like, oh my God, you are so beautiful. I'm going to get you. But then they died. They died. I think one I overwatered and the other one I forgot. But I'm like, I'm not giving up on you. I'm not giving up on you. So one of them I put outside, try to see like, if that was his environment or, whatever. Oh my God. And then the other one I kept inside. Like certain plants have different conditions for them to thrive, right? Keep that in mind. And my Roberto, I swear I was going to throw him out, but something was telling me no. So then, of course, he's sprouting from the bottom. I had to cut some leaves. When you plant and shit, like sometimes you have to get rid of whatever it's toxifying them. What the fuck is that word? Toxic to them. Because if you keep them, you kill the whole plant. You see? Oh my God, you hear the bird? That was a confirmation. When you caught off what's not meant for you, you thrive. You thrive. Sometimes you got to change the environment. Sometimes you got to cut off what's toxic. It takes time, and you may not see it right away, but it takes time. And then my Violeta, she's so tall. I'm just waiting for her to get her pretty violet colors again. Violeta in Spanish means violet. And I love her so much. She's right next to my station where I actually journal and do my work and whatever. And I'm just like, I look at her, I'm just like, wow, look at you, bitch. Look at you. Look at you getting grown. Look at you coming back better than ever. I'm so happy, you know? So remember that your environment and sometimes things around or within you is more toxic than you think, and you have to get rid of them to thrive. And that's your message. Get rid of the things that don't make you thrive. Don't expect immediate results. I mean, you could tell a difference almost immediately. Like, oh shit, that really makes a difference. Anyways, I love you guys. See you soon. Let me know what you think, and we'll talk soon.